You're about to enter one of the most mysterious forests in the United States, a place that looks ordinary: lush trees, winding trails, fresh air. But behind its beauty hides something sinister. Locals call it the forest that eats people. Over the last 50 years, more than 24 people have vanished in or near Black Hills National Forest, never to be found again. Not a body, not a trace, nothing. The forest has its own rules, and if you break them, it notices. Tonight on Fear Diaries, we investigate real life disappearances in the Black Hills. We'll examine ranger reports, 911 calls, survivor interviews, and one disturbing piece of audio that was allegedly captured deep inside the forest. This isn't just a ghost story, it's a case of missing people, unexplained evidence, and the terrifying question: what is taking them? The first case we'll cover is one of the most documented: Ben Holloway, 23 years old. On July 9th, 2001, Ben set off for a solo weekend hike in Black Hills. He was a college student from Denver, experienced in hiking, and had already visited the forest 3 times before. His girlfriend received a text at 3:47 p.m. "Signal getting weak. Should reach the ridge soon. Love you." That was the last anyone ever heard from him. Search teams were deployed the next morning: dogs, helicopters, infrared scanners. His phone pinged only once more, near an area known as Ravine 13, a rarely used trail where no proper path exists. After 6 days, they found nothing but his backpack, placed neatly against a tree, with the straps buckled like someone had tucked it in. The official report says disappearance with unknown cause. But unofficially, one ranger noted in his logbook that when he walked the area, his GPS kept resetting. "It's like the forest didn't want us tracking anything," he wrote. He also mentioned hearing what he thought was a whistle coming from the trees, but the pattern didn't match any bird call. Ben Holloway remains missing to this day. No bones, no clothing, just a name on a tree near the trailhead where hikers now leave candles and warnings. The second case is one of the most chilling ever recorded in Black Hills. On October 12th, 2009, a local hunter named Carl Dietrich, 41, called 911 while lost deep in the forest. He was familiar with the area and often hunted deer in early autumn, but this time he was in a part of the woods he claimed didn't exist on his map. Dispatcher: 911, what's your emergency? Carl: I I don't know where I am. I'm in Black Hills, but this isn't right. Dispatcher: are you injured? Carl: no, but the trees, they moved. I swear they moved. And there's someone whistling. It's been following me for an hour. Dispatcher: are you near any landmarks? Carl: there's fog. Everything's fog. It wasn't like this before. I keep walking and ending up in the same spot. Carl: it's behind me again. Call disconnected. Rescue teams traced Carl's signal to an area near Devil's Basin, a remote part of the forest known for sudden fog drops. When they reached it 3 hours later, there was no sign of him. His footprints circled the same clearing 4 times, like he was walking in loops. Then they just stopped. Sheriff Willis, who oversaw the search, left his post a month later. In an anonymous letter published by a local journalist, he wrote, "Something is wrong with that place. It's not just people getting lost. It's like the forest is choosing who gets out and who doesn't." Carl Dietrich was never found, not even his rifle, just a scarf hanging from a tree branch 10 feet above ground, and the smell of burnt wood, though no fire had been reported. Locals say the forest has rules. Don't follow the lights. Don't whistle. Never go alone. And above all, if you hear whistling, don't answer it. They speak of a figure known only as the Whistler, a forest spirit, shadow entity, or something else, described as tall, humanoid, with no face, and always at the edge of your vision. According to oral history dating back to the Lakota Sioux tribes, the Whistler appears before disappearances. They say it mimics voices, lures people by imitating loved ones. Some hikers have even reported hearing their own voice calling them deeper into the trees. One camper in 2015 reported hearing his mother's voice calling him from the woods. His mother had died in 2007. In 2018, a paranormal research group known as Skeptic's Edge visited Black Hills for a weekend experiment. Their goal was to debunk local myths using thermal cameras, motion sensors, and long-range audio recorders. On the second night, while reviewing their sound data, they discovered something chilling. A whisper recorded at 3:12 a.m., 400 feet from their campsite, captured while no one was awake. The audio was low frequency and hard to isolate. But after enhancement, the whisper became clear. It wasn't a word. It was a mimic. One of the team members, Anna Rickman, claimed she felt someone brush her tent in the night, but nobody was outside. The next morning, they found deep scratch marks on the bark of nearby trees, at a height of 7 feet. Anna later dropped out of the team and refused to talk about the trip. In a podcast interview the following year, she simply said, "That place isn't haunted, it's hunting." On June 4th, 1997, a 13-year-old girl named Emily Green vanished while visiting the forest with her parents. It was 2 p.m., broad daylight, at a popular picnic site. Her parents say she was just 12 feet away, picking wildflowers near a clearing. They turned away to unpack a cooler. Less than 20 seconds later, she was gone. Search dogs picked up a trail heading into a thick wooded area, but just 200 meters in, they refused to go further. The team noted that birds had gone silent, not even insects. 2 months later, her red shoelace was found tied around a tree branch 8 feet high. It was looped perfectly, like a ribbon. DNA confirmed it was hers, but Emily never returned. Ranger Douglas Hale served in Black Hills from 1993 to 2011. He patrolled over 200 miles of trail and responded to dozens of missing persons reports. But he quit after one last incident in 2010, one he refuses to detail publicly. In an anonymous Reddit AMA post, believed to be him, he wrote, "There's a point, deep in the trees, where the forest goes silent, and you know it's watching you. I turned around once and saw someone standing in my old uniform. I never wore a hat. He was." He ended the post with one final warning. If you hear your own voice, run. In 2004, Miguel Harper, a 29-year-old backpacker, went missing for 3 full days in the Black Hills forest. On the 4th day, he stumbled out onto a trailhead, barefoot, shaking, with blood on his hands. He was taken to a local clinic where he repeatedly asked, "Did the trees let me go?" Miguel said he remembered walking in circles, then seeing a little girl in a red dress standing between trees, waving at him. He followed her for hours until he passed out from exhaustion. When asked why he followed her, he said, "She looked just like my sister, who died when I was 10. He never returned to the forest again, moved to Arizona, changed his name, and refused all interviews. Black Hills National Forest still draws hikers, tourists, and campers every year. But the disappearances haven't stopped. In 2021, a couple went missing just 2 miles from Ravine 13, the same area Ben Holloway's backpack was found. And just this year, in 2025, a trail cam picked up motion without any visible subject, the last recording before it shut off permanently. Whatever lives in those woods, it doesn't want to be found, but it sees everything. And when the sun sets, it chooses who gets to leave. If this story gave you chills, there's more waiting in the dark. Fear Diaries brings you real horror cases, researched, narrated, and reconstructed from chilling truths. From haunted asylums to unsolved vanishings, we don't tell ghost stories, we uncover them. Subscribe now, because reality is often much darker than fiction.